Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live. And for those of you that are out on YouTube, hopefully you will be able to find me over here live. For whatever reason, YouTube is not allowing me to go live again today. I'm not really sure what the issue is, but I'm starting to get a little annoyed. I wish I could figure it out. They just did another update, so I'm assuming it probably, something in the update didn't go quite right, and I guess I should learn not to do the updates immediately because it's really annoying to not. I was over there panicking, trying to hurry and get my my video posted. And anyway, but glad y'all okay. Looks like people are finding me. So Karen and Lori and Nancy and Bree, thanks so much for joining, and again for coming over to Facebook instead of YouTube, because it acts like it's going to go live and then it's like, oh, it can't connect. So anyway. So we're just going to run with it here on Facebook. So thanks again for joining. And I'm going to show you a card that I made today with the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. And I guess it's the Tag Buffet stamp set as well. So that's where the sentiment came from. So I used the Snowflake Wishes stamp set bundle. So this is the card we're making today. And as you will peek at the background of it, hey Nancy, thanks for joining. You probably will notice that perhaps this is not a designer series paper that you have seen before. It's actually a new one from the upcoming Celebration catalog. So, hey Jerry, thanks so much. I'm glad that y'all like my card. And Sherry, thanks for joining today as well. So I'm using a little bit of the designer series paper from the upcoming Celebration catalog, or Celebration brochure, I guess it is. So this is some paper that you can get for free with an order of $50 or greater. And I guess I can start by showing you that first. So this is the designer paper. It's called the Oh So Ombre 6x6 designer paper pack. And this is what one side of the sheet looks like. Whoops, I guess it goes, obviously light to dark with the ombre. And it is, I should have looked at Blackberry Bliss, Rococo Rose on these two sides. And then you flip it over and it is Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple Green on the opposite side. So it is a really, really, really cool pack of paper. And then the other paper has got the polka dots on it. And again, it's the same colors, but again, it's that same ombre effect where it goes light to dark. And then you flip it over and again, same colors, but it's got the light to dark designs on it. So yes, it's definitely another item for your wish list, Nancy. It's some good paper. It's a big pack of 48 sheets, 6x6. And again, you get it for free when you order $50 or greater or you can get it for free when you, choose that as your celebration item, starting on January 5th. Or if you are interested in joining as a demonstrator, you can start earning it for free starting on December 1st, which is really not very far away. So yay. All right. Well, thank you. Yes, you definitely need some of this designer paper, Michelle. It's very, very pretty. So, all right. So this is the card that I made with it. I used the Snowflake Wishes stamp set, which is in the current mini catalog, the August to December mini catalog. So it's one of the stamp sets. It's a photopolymer one. And then it has coordinating dies that go with it. So these are very pretty. And yet there's definitely a ton that you can do with that paper, Sherry. It's a good one. You're going to love it. So, all right, so we've got the stamp set bundle is one of the things that I used, and then the Tag Buffet stamp set is the other item that I used on here, and I used that for the sentiment. So we used the 'Tis the Season for my sentiment on the card front. So again, this is one of those that's it doesn't really stand out in the catalog, but it's got some really good sentiments on it. So if you don't have this set, definitely get it. There is a coordinating set of tags that actually, it's a kit that you can get with it as well, and the tags are beautiful. So if you haven't seen it, it's towards the front of the mini catalog. Go take a look and definitely consider getting it because it's really good. So when do the new catalogs come out? I am able to order them on December 1st. And then depending on how long it takes UPS to get them here, I will be sending them back out to my customers starting as quickly as I have them. So you should have it no later than mid-December. But again, it sort of depends on the mail and UPS and, all that delivery stuff, particularly this time of year. So definitely, like I said, I will be ordering them on the 1st of December. So, all right, then we've got some of the stitched shapes dies. I use this circle, the second largest one, to cut out the sentiment on the card front. And then, you're welcome, Nancy. And then I used one of the stitched rectangle dies, which is the second largest one, I believe. Yep, to cut. I actually cut both layers. So I cut the designer paper for the background and then trimmed off a piece of the polka dot paper and also cut it with the same die so that it matched up with the stitches on the card. So that is the other thing. These are the stitched rectangle dies that I used on my card. Before we get going on the actual card making, one thing I definitely want to let you know about, Stampin' Up! Has got their Merry and Bright online extravaganza on Tuesday, and they are putting pretty much everything in the annual catalog. There are 74 items, I think we counted, that are on the exclusions list, but everything else from the annual catalog is on sale for 10% off on Tuesday. So what an awesome deal. So definitely, I mean, again, you get to pick whatever you want. It's everything from designer papers. The bundles are on sale. So everything in the catalog that is not listed on that exclusions list, and that's, you can find that on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com, that it's all going to be on sale for 10% off on Tuesday, November 24th only. So make sure you get your order put in on the 24th and get it in early so you're not scrambling at the last minute and hurry. And so get your order put in on November 24th, which is next week, Tuesday. And then finally, the Curvy celebrations, which hopefully you all know about that. If you do not, it is a new stamp set bundle that is coming in the upcoming mini catalog. We've got the Quite Curvy stamp set and Curvy dies. This is a bundle that will be available in the upcoming mini, the January to June 2021 mini catalog. And they're available as a bundle only right now. Once the new catalog starts, you'll actually be able to order them individually, but not until then. And then there's also a Curvy Christmas stamp set and a classic Christmas 6x6 design series paper pack that coordinate with the bundle that you can purchase individually, or you can purchase it as a big bundle for the variety bundle, which includes the 2 stamp sets, the dies, and the designer paper, and get a 10% discount on all of that. And that goes on through January 4th. And the Christmas stamp set and Christmas designer paper are only available while supplies last, so keep that in mind as you're ordering. The Quite Curvy stamp set and Curvy dies will be available in the upcoming catalog, so those you don't need to be quite as worried about ordering immediately, but they are cool, so you'll definitely want to get them early. And if you order either the Quite Curvy bundle or the Quite Curvy variety bundle through me, you're going to get a special set of 5 tutorials with videos that a group of us got together and did. So those will be, like I said, that's available if you were interested in that. And if you have questions, let me know. All right, on to the card finally, after starting late and having to come over to Facebook instead of doing YouTube. Good heavens. All right. Hey, Akiko, thanks for hopping in today. So I have got the piece of designer series paper. Again, this is the Oh So Ombre 6x6 designer series paper that will be available as a free item during celebration starting on January 5th. Or if you join as a demonstrator, you can start now, or start on December 1st, ordering this as one of your free items with a demonstrator order. And it's a good pack, and you're definitely going to want probably more than one. So, all right, so I've got, I cut that with one of the stitched rectangle dies, and I'm just adhering it to a panel of Whisper White cardstock. And the Whisper White cardstock is cut to 4 7/8 by 3 1/2. So again, the die cut fits perfectly inside that. And then I have got another piece of the Oh So Ombre designer series paper that I have cut. I cut it to, 1 7/8 inches wide. And then I also used that same stitched rectangle die, and I just ran the piece of designer series paper so that it would be stitched on the edges as well. So, hey, Jean Ann, thanks for hopping in. So again, I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut to 2 inches by 3 1/2, so that it should be hopefully the same size as the card front on here. And I'm going to adhere these 2 pieces of paper together, and they should line up if I've cut everything correctly, which I think I did. Should line up once I adhere them together. And I'm just using Stampin' Seal to adhere the pieces together, and then I got a little goober of Stampin' Seal stuck on the top of my Stampin' Seal case. All right, and then I'm going to take that and adhere it to the front of the card here. And it was no special measurement or precise measurement. It was just one of those things where I just sort of eyeballed it and generally knew that I wanted it on the lower part of the card. So that is how I did it. So, all right. Next up, I have pre-cut, again with the So Many Snowflakes, I think is the name of the die set, that coordinates with the, goodness, my mind is going crazy, Snowflake Wishes stamp set. I have got a couple of snowflakes that I have pre-cut from Whisper White cardstock. And we're going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to stick those onto the card front. These don't require a ton of glue because they are pretty small. I'm just going to do some little dabs, hopefully little dabs of glue. I don't get too carried away in some of the wider areas on the die cuts. You can also use the adhesive sheets if you planned ahead better than I did and remembered to use the adhesive sheets. Then you definitely can use them. I mean, they work very well with these little intricate snowflakes, but I clearly did not think ahead and think to put them on the back before I did my die cutting, and then it's too late. so just going to use a little liquid glue, and that works just as well here too. Just takes a second to hold it down and make sure that everything is stuck before I move on to the next snowflake. Hey Catherine, glad that you found me, and sorry that I wasn't live on YouTube like I said I would be. YouTube was giving me fits. I need to, I guess, go do some research on why it keeps happening. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, what has changed other than the update that YouTube did this morning when I got up, looked at my phone, there was an update on it, so I updated it, which I clearly should not have done. So, hey Diane, thanks for hopping in, and no worries about being late. You haven't missed too terrible much. We're still just sticking the card together. So again, just a little liquid glue with the snowflake die cut. All right, and next up, we are going to stamp the sentiment. So I've just got Whisper White cardstock and Versamark ink, and we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing here. So just going to ink it up quick with Versamark, stamp it straight down, hopefully, and straight back up. Ooh, I almost dropped it. And of course I put lotion on like a silly person right before I came on here, so I'm waiting to drop something. My hands are so dry with the heat turning on. Goodness, the house is dry, and so my hands are all dry, and I'm like, ooh, they look really nasty, and so I didn't want them on video looking all nasty. But then of course I put lotion on, and then everything is like super slippery, and I usually end up dropping at least one thing. So all right, so I've got a little silver Stampin' embossing powder that I have sprinkled over the top of it and kind of flicked off the excess, and we're going to do a little heat embossing. So I've got the heat tool, and I've turned it on to the level 2 setting. Level 1 setting is for drying ink, and if you do watercoloring and that type of thing, it will dry that a little bit faster. The level 2 setting is for heat embossing, so just letting it heat up for a second. And I'm gonna do, hopefully here you'll be able to see it turn. There we go, it's starting. And when it turns shiny and smooth, then you know that it's done, and you don't want to overheat it because you can definitely burn embossing powder. Again, ask me how I know. I've done it. So, all right, give this just 1 second to dry a little bit and to cool off so that I don't smear it when we go to do the next set of stamping. So it's beautiful designer paper, Catherine. Definitely, it's the new ombre pack. So you will, yep, definitely going to need to get that and get several packs of it. So I have got Bermuda Bay ink that I am stamping with here. I've inked up the snowflakes from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set, stamped it twice on scrap paper, and then I'm going to stamp it over the sentiment. So it's going to be a really light version of the snowflakes, but that was kind of the look I wanted. I didn't want them to be really dark over the top of the sentiment. I just wanted it to have a little hint of snowflakes, but not necessarily be like the focal point on it. So did a little bit of, again, just inked it with I keep calling it Coastal. It's Bermuda Bay ink, stamped it on scrap paper twice, and then stamped it over the sentiment. Next up, we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. Hasn't been my day, but the card is pretty. It definitely hasn't been my day, Akiko. It's one of those things. So, all right. So got one of the stitched shapes dies. It's the second largest of the circles, and I'm just going to run this through the die cutting machine here, which is right off to my right hand side. So I'm going to be off screen for 1 second. Oh, you haven't played with it yet, but you do have it. Yeah, you definitely want to pull it out and play with it. It was one of the first things that I got, and I'm like, I love it. So. Right. So yeah, it seems like winter is starting to arrive here in New Jersey. We don't have the snow yet, but it's definitely cooled off. So the heat has been running, kind of full blast in the house for a little while. And like I said, my skin is all dried out. So I'm, covering myself in lotion all the time. And so everything is a little, like I said, a little slippery because I just put on a pile of lotion to do the video. So, all right, going to use a couple Stampin' dimensionals, is what I'm trying to say, to adhere down this sentiment to the card front. Hopefully y'all are having a good day and enjoying your Friday, and are looking forward to a fun weekend. Not too much exciting planned here, but you know, that's probably okay, because a lot of excitement usually means a lot of running around, and we don't necessarily need to do that. So Thanksgiving is next week, and so happy about that. And all right, got a couple little rhinestones here. So this is the largest of the rhinestones that I picked to stick here next to my sentiment, just to add a little bit of sparkle to it, a little bit of extra, I should say, because we already got a little sparkle on the sentiment with the embossing on it. And then I have got a Bermuda Bay card base that I have cut to 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. But again, as always, with the cards that I do, you can always turn it into a book fold card if you prefer that fold over the tent fold cards like I usually do. Usually almost all of my designs, unless I've wrapped twine or something around it, usually almost all of them will work with either style of card base. This is just my preferred, the one that I prefer. And, you know, everybody has their own preference on it. And some people think it's crazy that I like the tent fold more than the book fold. But like I said, either way it will work. So, all right, so let me stick this onto the card front, and hopefully I will get it fairly centered, top to bottom and side to side. And that's it for the card front. So super simple, but I loved the snowflake look, and I love the colors with it. I thought were really pretty with that ombre paper. So definitely something you're going to want to get, and I know I'm going to be using this paper a ton. So, all right, on the inside of the card, we're going to do a little bit of stamping again. I've got one of the sentiments from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set in Bermuda Bay ink, and we're just going to ink that up, and we're going to do a full strength sentiment in Bermuda Bay, and hopefully I will get it fairly straight as I get my big nose right up next to the microphone. Hopefully I didn't get too loud. All right, just put that on, and then we're going to do the same thing with the snowflakes that I did earlier, where I'm going to stamp it on scrap paper twice and then stamp it here around the sentiment. And same thing over here. And that's going to be it for the inside of the card. So I'm glad that you all like it. Good, good. Like I said, I was just, you know, I love the paper, and I thought, perfect for snowflakes. So, and there was a sketch that happened to have two images kind of up above the sentiment like that, and I'm like, snowflakes, yep, paper, good, check. So it's a card for a sketch challenge, which I always love doing. All right, just used a little Stampin' Seal to adhere the liner on the inside of the card, and I'm going to use my bone folder to kind of smoosh down here a little bit and give it a good solid crease. And that is it for the card today. So this is my card that I made ahead of time, the sample one. Here's the one I made today, and obviously the placement of the snowflakes I got a little bit different on this card, but either way I think works. And I think that's about all I had for you all today. So thanks so much for joining. I am probably going to have to change up my schedule a little bit for next week. I thought I was going to be able to do my live on Tuesday, but I think I'm going to actually have to switch it to Monday. But I'll definitely post it on Facebook and on my blog, so you can keep an eye out for that. But like I said, I think just because I've got an appointment on Tuesday, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get back here in time to do the live, so I think I'm just going to switch it and do the live on Monday instead. So again, don't forget about the 10% off sale from the annual catalog merchandise on Tuesday, which is the 24th of November. Make sure you check that out and go take a peek at the sale items and pick out what you want and get them at a good deal. And check out my blog tomorrow. I'll have all the details for this card posted out there. And I will also share a link to the blog post so you can go take a peek at it directly. When I get the blog post up tomorrow morning, I'll share it in this video so you can go back and take a look at it. So thanks for joining me and putting up with my fumbling around and my trouble with YouTube. And I'm just glad that I'm still able to go live out here on Facebook with y'all. So have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I will plan to see you on Monday, probably at 2 o'clock. But like I said, just keep an eye out and I'll post the details. So chat with y'all later.